Are you going to talk on this one, Ginger?
Yeah.
Oh, Ginger.
I don't know if somebody pulls up, she might
Oh.
get a little.
Oh.
Oh, you made a fast friend.
Yeah. Let's see what she does when I go, hey, everybody, welcome back to the Daily Biker Podcast. Lewis harasses me about that. I'm sure you've heard him.
Yeah, I have.
So I am Marcus. I am your clueless leader. We're going to try and get through this adventure together, but that's okay. Lewis ain't here, so it's a real party tonight.
Absolutely.
So, as always, or I should say, as most of the time as always, because no matter how much I try, I cannot get away from her. Miss Muffin.
Hello. Yeah, you can't escape me. I'm sorry.
We have another lovely lady sitting right next to you, though.
We do.
Stephanie.
Hey.
You got to speak up for the people in the back.
Okay.
She's purposely sitting far away.
Yeah.
So Stephanie, in case some of y'all might not remember, is Daniel's wife, which means I have Daniel.
Hello.
Trying to be formal.
Yeah, well,
You think you're gonna meet some ladies? Your wife
I
is
might.
sitting right there.
I might.
I'm pretty sure there's no girls that listen to this.
probably
No,
not. Well,
no.
the two of them are right there. That's it.
That's it.
I don't
That's
think they
about
listen to it.
Actually, I don't listen to it. Because I'm here for most of them.
I tried
How
to get
rude
Stephanie
is
to
that?
listen to the last one. She's like, I was there.
Yeah.
I heard all that.
You might have been here. He talked on it. He
I
still
did.
listened to it.
I
I
did.
host it. I still listen to it. Yeah.
I don't like to hear my own voice.
I can't remember half the stuff we talk about anyways.
No.
So.
It's good. I remembered a few things.
Yep. So in this episode, we've kind of me and Lewis have went down this path a little bit once before. But what we're going to talk about is the evolution of motorcycling, or for some makes and models, the lack thereof. And we're trying to figure out where to go with this episode because we were hoping Lewis was going to be with us. So this episode hopefully will be the prelude to an episode where we're going to talk about the dynamics of where motorcycles were to where they are now in comparison of horsepower, torque, and the weight of the motorcycle, getting into power weight ratio and gearing and getting into a bunch of nerdy stuff that's already making my head spin. So we're going to talk about like I said, the evolution or lack thereof of some motorcycles.
Well, if we're talking about lack thereof, or as we were talking about earlier, perceived lack thereof, I think since you're the Harley rider in the garage today, I feel like that'd be a good jumping off point because they, in appearance, have not changed for the past 30, 40 years.
Honestly, they haven't, appearance-wise. But that's really at a first glance type thing. When you set the motorcycles next to each other, specifically talking about my bike because it's the traditional bagger with a batwing fairing, and you set bone stock ones next to each other, you start to see it, and you can start seeing that evolution because there hasn't been a drastic change. Places that there has been drastic changes might not be necessarily places that you immediately notice either.
Well, it's been only in the past maybe 15, 20 years that Harleys have gone to fuel injection, like most other motorcycles.
It's definitely been in the past 20.
But I think, at least with Harley-Davidson, it's more of an individual modification from the stock. So it's left the same, and you have that same basic platform, and then it's left to the individual user.
Correct. And a lot of companies have kind of adopted the motto of stock sucks. There's a local business that their motto is your bike sucks.
I know who you're talking about.
And at first call of saying, oh, your bike sucks, it's like, well, that's kind of rude. But no, what they're telling you is your bike sucks. Make it yours. don't be a sheep, be a wolf, essentially.
Lion.
Yeah, lions,
Be a
not
lion.
sheep.
It's not sheep.
Unfortunately, manufacturers are limited by the reliability issues. If you start modifying and changing and putting out that special changes,
Well, even then, on the East Coast, we're limited a lot of times by what they can do in the state of California. We're
Yeah.
3,000 miles away. Don't limit me.
yeah. Well, that's California's its own problem.
Yes, yes. We have some California listeners, and
We're sorry.
based on who some of you are, I know you know exactly what we're talking about. I'm sorry, sir. Your Screaming Eagle slip-ons are way too loud. Here's you a $1,500 ticket. What? Sorry, sir. Your car's too low. Here's you a $2,000 ticket.
Wasn't that something that they had just put in law about the modifications that you can't get in, do any even tuning? I know it's more car oriented, but you couldn't do any tuning, you couldn't do any modifications like that. Honestly,
I don't feel like they
can't.
want you to buy a car in California.
Well, unless it's a Prius.
No, Tesla
Or
now.
Tesla.
Oh, Tesla. Full electric.
Yeah.
But going back to it, talking about how they haven't changed, Harley does have an electric bike, which is they were ahead of the curve on that one.
They were. So the thing about it is, Harley Davidson will hit a mark that is a fantastic motorcycle. And people go, they've been making the same motorcycle for 20 years. Well, they have, because it's kind of that whole adage about if you make something that sells, why change it? It's not that they don't change or they don't evolve or they don't make differences. It's just they make improvements where improvements need to be made.
Motorcycles are an analog product. Look, you
Yeah.
have inputs. It's still a manual transmission for the most part, unless you're on a Honda.
Yep.
You have to control everything. You control every aspect of the bike, whether it's the entire time.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, even if you take, the newest and the nicest Goldwing with an automatic transmission, you still have the equivalency of a 15-year-old Honda Civic.
Yep.
I mean, newer base model cars still have a lot more functionality than even what a top-end Goldwing has. I mean, I remember 10 years ago, people talking about, Honda's putting Goldwings on a motorcycle. That had been standard practice for cars for years at that point in time.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying go put a go put a
DTC.
airbag
Yeah.
on your motorcycle.
They do have. I think they still do have the Goldwing with the. You can only get it with the automatic. You can't get it with the manual for the airbag.
I think it's on the top tier. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I've been out of the Honda game for a little while, so I've kind of lost their tracking of it. But yeah, I mean, there's only certain things you can do realistically when it comes to the evolution of a motorcycle. If you're basing it 100% off style, I think you're missing the point
Well, that's,
on where it needs to be.
we're going to talk about a bike like a Goldwing. It has not changed since they brought it out in the 70s. Essentially the same thing. The styling gets updated every couple of years. The engines get updated every 5 to 10. And then you get new features. But look, it's
And that's the thing. And when you look at the last iteration of the Goldwing to the current iteration of the Goldwing, physically, there's some differences, but you could still recognize it as being, that's a Goldwing.
Yeah.
But once you start getting underneath that plastic, that's when you start seeing the engineering changes. The new Goldwings have that crazy cantilever front suspension system going on and stuff like that. And that's the same thing that happens like with the Harley baggers. Outward appearance, not a lot has changed. You start getting into stuff where it's like, they started making the twin cam engines in '99, and they ran the engine all the way through 2016, 2017. If you take the Dynas, but in the baggers particularly, 2016, and people are sitting here going, "Well, this is the same motorcycle, and you haven't changed anything." Well, yeah, we have, because in 2009 we redesigned the frame. It runs a wider rear tire. The mounting position for the rear axle is slightly different. From the seat back is a completely different motorcycle. In 2014, they run a newer style fairing on it. They run the newer style bags, doing updating, and people go, "Okay, woohoo, we got new bags." Hey, buddy, for a lot of motorcycles inside of 20 years, that's a lot of changes. Yeah. You literally have to bring out an entire new motorcycle, which is what Harley did with the Dynas and the Softails. They saw a point where it was going, we're going to have to do something radical with the Softail and with the Dyna to make it something different. What they do, they came out with an all-new Softail and took your Dyna models and put them in the Softail line. When it first came out, people were like, "That's retarded." Guess what? That's a badass motorcycle.
Well, I think the thing that people don't think about as far as motorcycles goes, like, there's R&D. Every new part, you go to a different degree on the engine. You know, the V shape, it's a different degree.
Yeah.
That's multiple millions of dollars worth of R&D that has to go into something like that. So that's why nothing appears to change for
Correct.
10, 15, 20 years.
Well, and it's like, you know, you buy a motorcycle, 3 years later you go in the parts store, and the bolts that hold the taillight on are not the same bolts as they are on yours, although they look the exact same. If the bolts are different, that usually means there's a lot of other stuff that's different too. Mm-hmm. And that's that R&D. That's that hidden technology that's happening that people don't see. So you take my bike, my 17, and you park it next to a 2020, and people go, "Okay, well, where's the difference? I mean, you're the same engine, you're the same tire size, everything's the same." Well, yeah, but then they started getting into other stuff. So in 2020, they came out with a system called I think it's the RSDS or something like that. I know people are going to yell at me for not knowing what it is. I'm the marketing guy. I get people to come to shop and spend money. That's all I do. But you're now talking about bikes. Mine's a 17. It's not an old motorcycle. But these new ones, right on the screen, you're getting your tire pressure. You're getting traction control. You're getting ABS system controls. Mine has a linked braking system on it as well as ABS.
Which in a lot of brands, that's 2021, 2022 features. It's like ABS. Mm-hmm. ABS has only become popular and advertised within the past 5 years.
I'll give you popular. Popular. It was there.
It's there.
But there were so many people that didn't want it.
Well, because I like to slide my motorcycle to a stop, and if it doesn't let me do that, I can't have as much fun.
But honestly, we are now meeting customers that don't want to buy bikes without ABS.
Because they have it on their car, and you get a lower insurance premium.
I don't know if the insurance premium is still a thing, though, on that.
I would imagine that it would be. You think about all the safety features that are coming out on the newer motorcycles. You have it perceived traction control. You have ABS. You have all these rider modes, especially on the Japanese sport bikes.
Yeah.
The Hondas, the Kawasaki's, the Suzuki's, Yamahas. You have all these different. It's like you can go out and buy a CBR 1000 RR and put it in rain mode, and you have a 100 horsepower motorcycle instead of a 205 horsepower.
Correct. Well, the other thing too about these bikes, no matter what brand you're looking at or what particular model, that bike is built for John Q. Public. Mm-hmm. It's not specifically designed for you and the way you want to ride and what you want to do with that motorcycle. That's why there's a whole world of aftermarket accessories to help you evolve your own personal motorcycle to not only your style, but what suits your riding style best, what suits your comfort needs best.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, a perfect example of that is the Honda Valkyrie that I'm sitting on.
Yes, you bought a new motorcycle.
I did buy a new motorcycle last week. I bought myself a 1998 Honda Valkyrie. This is a Goldwing. This is a hopped up Goldwing. They saw people modifying them in the 80s and early 90s. Said, look, we're going to get on this cruiser custom fad, make a factory cruiser style motorcycle, and sell it with the reliability of a factory Goldwing.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And I'm sure you've seen all the ones that come out to the bike nights. Every one of them is modified, usually by trikes, and they're older, but we're going to forgive them for that. They're still riding.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about it. How often do you see any motorcycle, with the exception of somebody that might be riding a small CC motorcycle because they're kind of just now getting into it, that's stock?
Very rare. I don't know anybody.
Even if it's just exhaust, and that's that whole principle about tailoring it to your style and your needs and your wants and your desires. For instance, my seat. Okay, my seat on my bike, it's about 2.5 inches narrower in the driver's portion than what the factory seat is. The rear seat is probably about 4 inches narrower than what the factory seat is. But my seat is also taller. The rear seat is taller. But it's a seat that is tailored to my needs and my desires. And some people might sit on that seat and go, no, I'm not a fan of it. Well, that's fine. They make a seat for you.
Absolutely.
That seat's for me.
That's
My
not.
portion's not that great. I'm gonna put that out there.
You have a backrest. That's better than Stephanie can say right now.
Well, she does ride her own though.
She does ride her own. So.
But you know, it's just like the stickers on the back of my saddlebags. I mean, that's me though. That speaks of who I am.
Well,
Yeah.
the manufacturers put out a consumer product that has to appeal to the greater market, and it's left up to the individual to make it their own.
I think any motorcycle that's on the market right now, any new motorcycle that's on the market right now, realistically is designed to meet 75% of what your needs are. And the reason I say that is because they can only put so much into it before they start losing money. They start losing sales because now they've designed a motorcycle for someone, say, 5'10 plus. And half the world's not 5'10 plus.
Yeah.
So they go out and they'll go, well, we're going to design a motorcycle for the shorter market. But then you have a guy that's 5'5", and he doesn't want a small CC motorcycle to ride around. He wants something with some power. So he's going to do his best to ride that big bike. So they tone down the bigger motorcycle so that guy can get on it and ride the same motorcycle. So the motorcycle doesn't get necessarily designed around somebody. Now, they do take factors into play. They'll say, okay, we're building this motorcycle. The majority of the people that are going to buy this bike are going to be this demographic.
Yeah.
The sex, this height, this weight, this age. And I mean, honestly, they do those types of things. And it's sad to say, but with Goldwing, I think forever they were building it at an age point that was kind of high.
Yeah, for the guy that just wants to be on the interstate
Correct.
for a long period of time, which is perfectly fine. And marketing and manufacturing a motorcycle that does a specific task, like you said, 75% of what you need. You're not going to go to the Tail of the Dragon on a Goldwing and expect to beat the guy on a BMW 1000. It's just not. That's not what it's supposed to be. But
Unless you're Yellow Wolf.
yeah.
He's the exception here.
Well, that's a whole different.
That's a whole different.
Yeah.
It's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing about it, because like talking about the suspension on motorcycles. There's a million different companies that make suspension for motorcycles. That suspension that's on my bike, does it work for me? Yes. Is it what I want? No, but that's okay. I have the options. I have the availability to change it to make it my way. And that's one of the biggest things. The aftermarket has stepped up in helping that evolution of motorcycles. And I think the aftermarket has actually driven the evolution of some makes and models and brands. We were talking earlier about Harley trikes. For years, Harley didn't actually make a trike. If you had to buy a bike and have it triked out. Then once
that was a custom.
once they started doing trikes again, they weren't actually manufacturing trikes. They were sending brand new motorcycles out to have them triked, and you go into the dealership and buy it. And people were buying them, so they saw a need for it. So they started producing them from the factory again. So that's where your aftermarket forced an evolution upon the manufacturer.
I definitely think it's interesting that a lot of everybody has aftermarket parts, but the manufacturers as well, the engine sizes that they now have, the diversity of engine sizes that most manufacturers, we're going to have to exclude Harley on this one because they make one engine below 1,000 cc. Two?
Well, technically. Three, but it's two. No, technically three, but it's two because one of them is the same engine in two different CCs. Because they did make the Street Series in a 500 and a 750.
Okay, I didn't know they made a 500.
Yeah, we don't see those though. We've had 500s at the shop.
Is that a foreign market type?
It's a foreign market
like
motorcycle.
An Indian market.
Yeah, it's a foreign market motorcycle, but we still have them. You can still get them. So, but yeah, like you said, the 883, but that even comes into play about the 883 and the 1200 are the same engine.
Yeah, just different.
The 500 and 750, the same engine. The 107 and the 114s are the same engine. So essentially, they make the Rev Max, the Evolution, the M8, and the Street Series. So they make 4 different engine bases.
Yeah. Well, I guess
for now,
I'm thinking of Honda specifically because that's the one I know.
They make a lot.
They have a 300. I believe they make a 400. They make a 500 cc engine, a 600 on a sport bike,
A 650.
650. I don't think they make anything in the 700 class.
They used to the Shadows used to be 750s.
I think they've made all of those 1100s now. For some reason, I don't think they've made I don't think they make a new Shadow.
I don't think they do either. I think your option now is Rebel in a 500 or an 1100.
Yeah. You have a 300 Rebel too.
Well, I'm talking about for you either go low or you go high.
Yeah. I don't think they have anything in that in between anymore. It'd be interesting to see if they make like a 650 Rebel. It'd be a curious engine. And then they make the Fury, which I think is a
13.
Yeah, it's the same engine in the VTX. Or the old VTX, and then the Africa Twin is 1100.
Yep.
And then the Goldwing, which is an 1800.
And see, you're talking about two though. Okay, so the Rebels and the African Twin are all parallel twins.
Yes. Well, except for the 300, which is a single cylinder.
Is it a single?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a single. So is the CBR 300.
Same engine.
Yeah.
The VTX series, VT series, whatever it is now, V-twins. They have, I'm not sure if they're still doing the VFR 800 that they came back out with a couple years ago.
I think they've bumped that one up to a 1200.
Okay, so that's a V4.
V4, yeah. And that's just in the U.S. market.
Right, and then they have inline fours
Yeah.
in all different sizes,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, the 125.
flat
the,
six.
The flat six on the Gold Wing, and then the single cylinder.
Oh yeah,
125s
single
for
125.
all the Grom gang.
It's
The girl
is it
thing.
really? I don't think. I mean, yes, it is a single, but it's not like. It's weird because it's like a 30-degree.
Yeah, it's
engine.
it's like the old Honda Trails, like the Trail 90 and the Trail. Actually,
They came back out
they
with
did
the
come out
trail.
with the new Trail,
Trail 125.
which I'm probably gonna have to buy one.
They look kind of cool.
They do look kind of cool. See, there you go. I got a Powerline Trail right up there. Take our Honda Trails up there. But
Buy some old Trail 90s is what we need.
all right, let's do it. I'll buy one if you buy one.
Some monkeys.
No, they're getting collectible now. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We gotta find some old guy that doesn't know what he has.
But that's the thing. The evolution. And evolution sometimes is driven by that nostalgia, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Honda made that evolutionary move to come back out with the small CC street legal motorcycles.
Yeah.
And then they made that move to come back out with the Trail Series.
I feel a lot of that is going back to their 1960s advertisements of you meet the nicest people on a Honda.
That's
And-
a lie.
Well, I know I'm a terrible person.
I've hung out with Goldwing people. My dad's a Goldwing person.
But that was in stark contradiction at the time to the Harley advertisements, which were the
You meet the baddest motherfuckers on
Yeah.
the Harley.
yeah.
So realistically, do you know where the whole "you meet the nicest people on the Honda" thing came from? Okay, so the term "one percenter" and Honda's slogan "you meet the nicest people on a Honda" come from the same thing. So what happened? I don't remember who it was. And I don't remember if it was in a news story or a magazine article or what have it. There was the whole thing about 99% of people that you meet on a motorcycle are generally nice people. It's only 1% of the population of motorcycle riders that are those bad people. I disagree with that. I know a lot of people that people would say were nice that are complete assholes. And I know a lot of guys that identify as one percenters that are the nicest guys in the world.
I'd say it's more
Very true.
50-50.
That's very true.
Correct. So, I'd say about 10% of the people that ride a motorcycle are genuinely nice people.
Fuck you.
I'm not. Well, neither one of us are those nice people.
No, not at all.
So,
No one in this garage.
but, so when that whole thing was going on, and these motorcycle groups started adopting that 1% thing because of that article or news story or whatever, like I said, I can't exactly remember what it was coming out, Honda saw an obstacle for sales. So they came out with the slogan,
The
you
nice
meet the
campaign.
nicest people on a Honda, which they did call the Nice campaign.
Yep. But at the time, they were also making like the Trail 90 and the Honda Cub and things like that they were advertising to women and trying to get your average Joe. Like, you could ride this to the office on
Yeah, could
Monday.
you imagine now if Honda made a motorcycle commercial and went, hey, women, come check out the new Rebel 300. Honda would be out of business tomorrow.
Well, we can't do that. You can't do that in 2021.
You can't do that anymore.
I don't think you could do it then. I know some badass girls that can ride some badass motorcycles,
Oh,
trust
yeah.
me.
Oh, yeah.
I've met girls
But it was
that
taboo
are
in the 60s.
5 foot tall that ride motorcycles like mine.
Well, you should have seen Stephanie going around on the Valkyrie here.
I would have loved to have seen that. It was actually nice.
Honestly, I bought this bike for us to go two up somewhere, but it's probably just going to be her bike, and I'm going to be stuck on the ZRX. I know, that's so terrible.
Till you ride a Harley.
When they make a Pan America in midnight blue, and I can get the silver
He
saddlebags
wants
on,
midnight blue.
I want midnight blue. I want a dark blue.
You know you can paint stuff.
Why would I spend $20,000 and then have it paint it. If I go,
Because the first thing I'm going to do
See
when I
what
buy
happens
Pan
when-
America is put a custom wrap on it.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I've already decided. I know what color I'm doing too.
What?
I'm not saying it on air.
it's not one of the 4 currently offered colors.
And it's not one of the 4 currently offered colors. I'm just going to do a wrap. We'll leave it at that.
Well, speaking of wraps,
Think of AMF bowling balls.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, so
that was a dark
Interesting.
period in Harley's history. I don't know if you want to go back there.
a lot of those bikes are big time collectibles.
Yeah. They are.
So, but that's the thing about it, the evolution, and sometimes with the evolution of motorcycles, I think you can't have evolution sometimes without going backwards sometimes. Because you kind of get to a point, it's kind of like taking a maze, every once in a while you hit a dead end and you go, we can't really keep going in the direction we're going. We want to go in this direction. So it might seem like they're going backwards, but sometimes they're taking a slight step back just to be able to go further than where they were before.
Well, I'm curious to see what the next big trend in the manufacturing is, because what we've
Well,
had.
if we follow Gold Wings, it's 6 speeds. Putting 6 speed in a
if
motorcycle.
I had a 6-speed, it'd be great.
Yeah, we're going to follow Goldwing. We're going to say the next big trend in motorcycling is 6-speed. I'm so glad Honda put a 6-speed in a Goldwing. Maybe now everybody else will decide to put 6 speeds in their motorcycles. I can't give you straight face.
I don't understand how they couldn't do it. This 1985 CB 650 has 6 gears, but the 1998 Valkyrie has 5.
I have an airbag and heated grips.
5 speeds.
I got 6 gears.
But I am truly curious to see, because this most recent crop of motorcycles that have just been like the new craze is everybody's going back to retro style. They're going back to that 1960s,
but
1970s.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. At some point in time, you hit a point where you have to take a step backwards in order to go further forward than where you were before.
But
And I think that's what they're doing.
absolutely, and as the market has shown, everybody's buying them. They
Yes.
want them. But I'm curious to see what the
Well,
next thing.
they're
is going to
using
be.
nostalgia as the selling point while they step backwards to be able to push forward.
Do you think that has anything to do with trying to get younger and newer riders into the hobby?
Maybe a little bit, but the newer, younger riders that I think a lot of them are going after might not be young as in what most people would think. I think the riders that they're going after are people in that age range between 20 and 30 years old, because they're seeing stuff like that new Z900 from Kawasaki, and they're going, my dad had a bike like that when I was a kid. And that's the nostalgia that's pushing that
Absolutely.
motorcycle.
Absolutely.
A 17-year-old kid is not going, my dad had that when I was a kid. The 17-year-old kid right now is going, my dad had that 99 R1 when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But
That's sad.
I would
Yeah.
also not put a first-time rider on the Z900 RS or something like that. That's too much.
There's a lot of
motorcycle.
people that do, unfortunately.
Well, because we don't have a tiered licensing system in the United States. You can get your license and then go buy a brand new 2022 Busa.
Yeah.
What's so bad about that?
If you want that, you can buy that here. Or
When
you
you
get,
got
you get a
your
new car.
license, did you want me to tell you what you could and couldn't ride?
No, absolutely not.
This is America, baby.
It's not Europe, damn it.
It's
America.
America.
We do have some listeners in Europe. To those of you in
I'm
Europe,
sorry.
I hope that you have graduated to top class, whatever it is.
I think you start at like A1, then you go to A2, and then it's all capped by CC, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
If I had it my way, you could get your license and go out and buy you a brand new bagger.
Go to the top and get the Triumph Rocket 3 with the 2300 cc 3-cylinder.
So earlier we were talking about trikes, and you mentioned a particular trike, and I said that and you said, I'm not sure if it's still a trike, and you were talking about it because it had 2 wheels in the front. My statement was, if it has 3 wheels and a motorcycle engine, it's a trike. Now, very specifically in that statement, if it has 3 wheels and a motorcycle engine, it's a trike. If it has a car engine and 3 wheels, it is not a trike. It's some other abomination along the same lines
Slingshot.
as like along the same lines as like a rail buggy, or what do they call those cars now? Exo cars. It's along that same line because it's something in its own class. Okay, and they haven't quite figured out. The federal government hasn't quite figured out. I think
But you still need a
how to
motorcycle
classify
license.
it. Yes.
And you have to wear a
You have to wear a
helmet.
helmet.
Yeah.
Even though you have a roof, you have to wear a helmet.
If you know how to drive a car, you can drive that.
A manual transmission car. Because I don't think they make those in automatics.
They're automatics.
Do
I
they?
think. I'm pretty sure they're
Do they make
automatics.
the slingshot an automatic?
I think it's
I think
only an
so,
automatic.
yeah.
Oh.
If they make it a manual, I might be mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure it's only automatic.
Just go back.
'Cause I
Just
was
buy,
like,
just
oh, I
buy
would
me
drive
one.
one.
Dude, it's a 2.3 4-cylinder, or was a 2.3 at one time, 4-cylinder, like GM motor.
It's a car. It's a
Yeah.
car.
It's
That's
the
a
same
car.
motor that's like out of a Cobalt.
It's a car. But you have to wear a helmet.
If they did
Not the Cobalt SS
I was
motor.
about to say, you get a supercharger?
It's not a Cobalt
All right.
SS motor.
Oh, that's-
Yeah, no different. Well, there was another company. So Air Rider that was in Oodwall, they're still there.
Mhm.
They sold motorcycles for a period of time, and they had a contraption called a Stallion.
Stout.
1 wheel in the front, 2 wheels in the back, 2.3 liter Ford engine. It was a dual spark plug 2.3 Ford engine that they put in the 4-cylinder Mustangs. They put them in the 4-cylinder Ford Rangers. There's a variation of what they put in the Pinto. Steering wheel, and on the dash it had the little push the button in, shift it down to drive, and go. Yeah, it was weird.
It almost reminds me of those old,
It's not a trike.
the Volkswagen.
That's a car with 3 wheels.
The Volkswagen Bug trikes that everybody used to have back in the 70s. And
But the thing is that's still basically a car with 3 wheels.
that is true.
I mean, coming from around here, different parts of the country might be a different story. But around here, there's a gentleman that has taken the front half and the back half of a late 80s Oldsmobile Delta 88 and made it to the front, or the front of it is an old Kawasaki. But that car was a front-wheel drive car, so the motor's still in the back, and it uses the front-wheel drive system to drive the. He comes to Nightfall sometimes. I'll point it out to you.
I haven't seen that one yet. That
It'll pop wheelies.
I bet it will. Well, all the weight's in the back.
But what is the difference in that and those choppers with a Volkswagen motor in the back?
No, nothing. There is nothing. That's
It's the same
it's the
concept
same
of
thing.
thought.
Yeah, it's the same as a Polaris Slingshot.
Amen to that, brother. So, the reason I went down that road is because you mentioned the Triumph Rocket 3. That thing is like, it's a motorcycle.
I haven't seen anybody make a trike version of that yet. That I've seen.
It's probably out there.
Oh,
But that engine is bigger than a lot of cars have.
it's bigger than the Camry's got a 2.2.
I'm fortunate enough, my truck has a 2.4.
Ah, almost.
Yeah. I mean, imagine they evolve that to almost a 3-liter.
I don't think they need to.
I feel like they'd have to make it a 6-cylinder at that point in time.
No, it'd be a 4. It'd be an inline 4.
Yeah, they'd probably just add a cylinder, making it inline 4.
But Triumph makes their 3 cylinders. They make a 3
Triumph Rocket 4.
See, it doesn't sound as good. It doesn't sound as good.
Rocket 5.
But at what point do you have too much engine?
Oh, there's definitely a point where you have too much engine. When your engine, I think when your engine is approaching the weight of your motorcycle, if you can take the engine out of your motorcycle
Yeah.
and what's left weighs almost the equivalency of your engine, I think you might not be at the right point on your engineering of the motorcycle.
Well, do you know how much your Harley weighs? Wet weight.
The
without-
bike?
Yeah.
It's like 820, 830.
Say Valkyrie's 750.
Yeah.
You get close to that 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Is it really a motorcycle at that? You're
How
getting
much does your engine weigh?
probably a majority of that 750 pounds of the bike.
Yeah.
That engine's probably a quarter of the weight of the motorcycle.
I would say we're probably looking at half.
Yeah. See, to me, that's just crazy because you're focusing so much weight in a centralized location. You want that weight to spread.
But I would say with the Goldwing, the 1600 and the 1800 cc engines being a flat six, it keeps that weight down low.
It does.
Which is where you want
It does.
on a motor instead
And
of
I know there's people that are going to hear this and they're going to be like, oh, well, what about a 350 pound sport bike? That motor might weigh 100 pounds.
exactly.
It's not a heavy engine.
Well, because the ZRX I have over there, I want to say, if I recall correctly, it's right in that 400 pound total wet weight. That is a sport bike. When you start getting heavier than that, and that's a 1100 cc engine.
And that engine probably weighs 125.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a majority of that bike.
Well, 125 on 400 pounds is not a majority. You're back to about a quarter of the weight.
Which
It appears to be a fine ratio.
apparently.
Now, a live wire, the battery pack was probably over half the weight of the motorcycle.
Now that was the big issue with a lot of these electric motorcycles when they were coming out, because the battery pack is so heavy and it's hard to.
Well, they have to make so much other stuff on the bike out of lightweight materials to combat the weight of the battery pack that you end up having more weight in a battery pack than you did on
in an engine.
an engine. But see, I believe some of these manufacturers, that's kind of like with yours. You know, that's where they've evolved. They understand that weight distribution across the whole platform. Because new Goldwing engines, they're not like that. They're not half the weight of the motorcycle.
No.
Because you're talking about full aluminum setups and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if a new Goldwing engine is no more than 200 pounds. And the bike itself is a little over 8.
Yeah, just about, which is impressive when you think about it's 1,800 cc's of engine. It's
Correct.
a 6-cylinder 1,800 cc engine.
What's funny though, and I have heard this, and the fact that you mentioned it being 1,800 cc's, I hear people talk about cc size, and you'll hear me say, yeah, well, Goldwing's got the 1,800, and then Yamaha has a 1,900, and then you step up to the Triumph 2,300. I mean, no one gets up there.
Yeah.
How big do you think my Harley motor is?
That's the 114?
That's the 107, but still do your math real quick.
That right around, what, 1,700, 1,800 cc's? Or
It's like, I think we're in like the 1750, between 1750 and 1775.
Could-
And that's a 107.
Now, what
They
about
make it in a 114,
what about the 130? Or is it a 130 or 131?
131. But you got to think there's a company now that, well, there are companies that make big displacement, 150 cubic inch plus Harley engines. You're breaking that 2,000 cc plane
Oh, absolutely.
on a Harley engine.
But at that point, that's a dick measuring contest. At that point, why?
I'm sorry that mine's bigger.
But why? Are you getting that much extra performance? Like, what are you gaining out of that you can't do? Once again, 75% of what you need is already there.
You know, me and Gadget, we were talking about the other day about the difference in CC size on particular Harleys, and he was talking about the 114 versus the 117, and when he mentioned something about it, I feel like his numbers were off still. But even if it's from the 107 to the 114 or the 107 to the 117, be it may be where it is, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of change. And he goes, it's only 49 cc's. And I looked at him and I go, yeah, it's only 49 cc's? He goes, yeah, it's only 49 cc's. I go, don't you have a Grom? And he goes, yeah. And I go, that's 49 cc's.
Ruckus.
Yeah.
Or Ruckus,
That's
that's
Ruckus.
49 cc's. I said, you have a
That's a whole
street
engine.
legal vehicle that has that much displacement.
Yeah. But that goes into the same thing I was saying. Why? Why do you need something that gets to that point?
You don't. You don't.
Like we were talking about earlier. Everybody likes to measure in 0 to 60 times. That's their big measuring contest that everybody likes to do. My bike is
Yeah.
faster than your bike. At a certain point, doesn't matter how much horsepower you have. You can only go so fast unless you've built something to do quarter miles.
Well, here's the thing. I don't care how fast your bike is 0 to 60. I care that your bike is fast enough to get onto the entrance ramp at the interstate and get to speed.
And I can do that on a Grom, just not quickly.
Some of our on-ramps aren't very long around here.
One of my good friends just bought a 2022 Honda Grom, and
Poor guy.
He paid $4,000 for the damn thing, brand new.
By the way, I don't think I've mentioned it. I've mentioned several times
You have a
that.
Grom?
No, I've mentioned several times. I think Groms are cool, but I
I love
can't
Grom.
fit on one.
No,
No matter what people say, I can't fit on one. I have rode one now,
they are kind of fun.
and I still can't fit on it comfortably.
I'm going to agree with you. I rode on it. Now they've made the
I've rode on the front and back seat of this Grom.
wait. There's a back seat.
Yeah, so we were having a
No,
party.
I had to sit on the back seat to ride it.
We were having a party at the shop, and it was Gadget's Grom, because Gadget has a Grom and a Ruckus and a chopper and a couple other things.
He's got other problems too.
Yep. Yeah, his name's Gadget. He was cruising around the parking lot, and it's so small that I just ran right up behind him and just went, bloop, plopped down on the back seat, and then he took off running around the parking lot with me on the back. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, get me
I
off!
have that photo.
Oh.
I have that photo.
But I rode this thing, and our office is downtown, and riding around going up the hill on Cherokee Boulevard.
You butted up a hill?
I'm redlining it going up this hill. I go
Redlining
through
going up a hill.
You
first,
probably
second,
don't weigh as
third,
much as I do.
just a hair smaller. Third, I think I got into fourth gear, and I looked down at the speedometer. I'm doing 38 miles an hour.
Well, he told me that, he goes, it'll go 65. I go, with you on it. And he goes, dude, it'll go 65. When I wrote it, I came back and I go, 53.
It's
He goes, no, it'll
perfect
go
for-
65. And I go, no, 53.
It's perfect for my size.
I got on a straightaway. 53. Red line, every gear, 53. That's all I got out of it.
There, a couple weeks ago, I was driving down.
And it was scary at 53.
You know the hill on Highway 153 before you get to 27, like right there, you pass Academy and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
coming
Yeah.
down
So
that hill.
I was driving up the Soddy Daisy.
Yep.
And there was a guy on a Grom. He is laying flat, like he has his head on the tank. His legs are behind him.
He's planking.
He is planking on his Grom at 57 miles an hour.
That was top speed for him.
That was it.
That was
And you
it.
could hear that poor engine. Was-
Save me.
he's going downhill.
Well, what's crazy, Rebel 250, or not a Rebel 250, a CBR 250, when those came out, one of those was a Two Brothers pipe,
Yeah.
78.
Well, that's
I know, took me 6.5 miles on I-59 in Birmingham. 78.
when Stephanie started riding, I had picked up a it's an early '90s CB250 Nighthawk, and that
Okay.
it would do in the mid '70s, even with my fat ass on it.
Yeah.
And for the size of the engine, it was impressive. It was a twin cylinder though. It wasn't a single.
I feel like they seem to be able to put power out better out of a smaller CC at one point in time.
When you say one point in time, are you talking about like pre-EPA type
70s and
things?
80s motorcycles, hey, you get on a 400 now and ride it, okay? Then you get on a CB 404 or 454 and ride it.
Yeah.
You're sitting here going, these are not both 400s. I mean, a CB 400 or a CB 450, when they came out, that was not considered a small motorcycle.
No. In the
Adults
70s.
bought them, adults rode them. Now, a 400 is a small bike.
Well, that's a starter bike. A 300 or a 400 is a
That's a
starter
starter
bike.
bike, yeah.
Well, that's like that 79 KZ 1000 that I have, and the 900 and 1000 that Lowe's has. Those at the time, that was if you wanted to go fast,
That was top dog.
That's what
Yeah.
you bought. You wanted to be faster than everybody else on the road, and you were maybe making 70 to 90 horsepower on
Well,
a good day.
and see, that's
At
the
the
thing.
time.
At the time, Harley's big engine was 80 cubic inches. That's like 1,350 cc's. That was a big motor.
But yet we're over here talking about you've got 17-ish hundred cc's. I'm sitting
Yeah.
on 1,500 cc's.
Yeah,
These are just adequate.
yeah, these are average.
Yeah, but
Where does it come a point where you go enough is enough? It's coming, I feel like. But I feel like that enough is enough is going to happen because electric's moving in so fast that they're going to stop with the displacement race and focus on electric.
well, they go. You talk about displacement race. You talk about the speed wars of the '90s, where you had the Honda Blackbird, which had 1,000 cc's, and then
So-
the Hayabusa, and
For any of you listening, if you go to the Instagram for the Daily Biker, before I started doing this, I did a handful of motorcycle reviews.
race
Wrote some stuff.
Hayabusas.
Yeah. No, I raced M109Rs.
Oh, Lord. You're
So-
right, Tay-Tay's not here for the M109
Wait,
rant.
you're that one that revs it up at nightfall?
Been caught red-handed. I wrote talking about that when I rode the 900, and it was really interesting. So, anyways, Heather,
What?
can you give us 3 motorcycles? Daniel's going to keep all 3 of them, but
I am.
He's going to keep
Well, I-
everything.
give us 3 bikes.
Well, okay, first one, the Pan Am. Because I love the Pan Am.
If it's in midnight blue,
Okay,
I
so
keep it.
current iterations, he's going to keep it, but he's going to paint it.
yes, I would
Paint
paint.
it.
Although I'm going to put the knobby tires on it, like you guys have.
I'm going to custom wrap it. I'm going to put the knobby tires on it. I'm going to do the black bags, though, for me.
I do like the black bags. Yes.
Goes with having the
Yeah.
colors of it.
Say the midnight blue. I'll keep the silver bags. I like those.
Yes, the
the
silver
big,
bags on that
not
look
not
great.
the sport bags. I like the big square.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the sport bags, I think, physically look a little better, but the square aluminum boxes, the aluminum cases, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
they work better.
I like that they open from
Yeah.
the top and not open
Not the
outwards.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I feel like you can store more in.
That
Yeah.
bike, though, if I had a Pan America, the Street Glide would get neglected a lot.
No, it would. I'll say that. It will get. Yeah.
The Street Glide would be, hey, it's bike night, or
No, hey,
just-
it's Panama. We're taking
it's
this
Panama,
to
or hey, we're just gonna go cruise, or even like, hey, we're gonna go for a ride that day.
Yeah.
We're gonna go have fun. We're gonna go rip up the canyons because although Pan America is good for it, that's really fun to go
Yeah,
in the
It is
twisted
really,
sides.
it is really
Absolutely.
fun. Yeah.
So, all right, bike number 2.
All right, since I'm sitting on it, we're gonna go with a Street Glide.
You know what I would do with it. So, real quick, yeah, they're out there.
Big wheel.
What would you do with a Street Glide? Let's say that first.
This I want to hear. Yeah, what would you do, Street Glide?
I do not like the front fairing. I would get rid of the front fairing.
Well-
That's just me.
Then you should have just bought a Road King.
Well, then okay. So then I would not have bought the Street Glide. I would have bought a
There you
Road
go.
King.
All right, so for me, what I have done, I have the Saddleman SDC Pro Series seat with a miniature backrest on it. I have 9-inch rise from Thrashin. I have the Thrashin 4-inch mid-bend bars, so I have T-bars on it. I have a nice little SNS intake, and I've got a Bassani stainless 2-in-1 mid-length pipe with a 21-inch front wheel. I mean, outside of other stuff I'm going to do to it, it's more cosmetic and a little bit of power upgrades, but it's really just paint and powder coat and stuff like that. But the main key point visual stuff, it's kind of already been done.
Are you going to change it? Are you going to change the color on this one?
I'm repainting the whole
We are,
motorcycle.
That way,
The
it's
motorcycle's
not just
going-
another
Is this
Street
one? Is this
Glide.
one a secret? What color are you going to go with?
I'm not going to say it on the podcast.
No.
I'll tell y'all
I'll
afterwards.
tell you, but
Okay.
it's not going to be broadcasted.
Yeah, I'm not.
Sorry, everybody. You don't get
Sorry.
to hear it. You just have to come out.
I will
the
say
mic and see
this. I will say this. When I paint it, some of the body parts are going to be in carbon fiber. So initially, I'm going to probably reduce about 55 to 60 pounds of weight off the motorcycle.
it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And get rid of the front fairing.
No.
No.
Ow.
Just get you a Road King.
All right. Third motorcycle, Heather.
All right, let's do a Ducati Monster.
What size?
I don't know. The one that the purple one you said on that I wanted.
796.
All right.
Is that a?
As fun as it would be to have, I think I'm going to get rid of it because I don't want to have to deal with.
Because that one still has the Desmo valves.
I don't know what it has,
Yeah.
but
No, that
I know people that have that iteration and have had issues
I've had.
that were costly engine issues.
I had a 2004 Ducati Monster. It's in that 600 Ducati with their engine sizes. It's,
Yeah.
Odd numbers.
I think it had
Use
a.
odd numbers.
I think
yeah.
it had a.
It was like a
Well, I think they had-
686 or something.
No, I think it had a 696.
Six.
Because I think they went from a
Something like that,
696 to maybe it was a 747, not a 796.
I think so, maybe.
I don't know.
It was a Ducati
Weird
Monster.
numbers.
747 coming out of the sky.
That was a fun bike when I had it. I would never own another one. It did not check any of the boxes. It was a cool,
It's kind of like an Alfa Romero.
yes. It was awesome. And it
There
was
is
cool.
an Alfa Romero I want though. I'm not buying it, but I want it.
She's like, I love that Alfa Romero. Buy me that Jeep over there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get the Jeep over there instead.
You got a little 2-seater Alpha.
No,
It's
she's.
actually the SUV Alpha I want.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was it the Stevio?
The Stevio.
Stevio?
Yeah.
Good luck finding somebody to work on it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
well,
another reason I'm not buying one.
that's the same problem that we have with some motorcycles in the area. It's like,
Yeah.
good luck getting somebody to work
Well,
on it.
anything European. A buddy of mine just bought a Moto Guzzi
Where does he go for that work?
Pandora.
Oh, Lord.
That's
I'm
it.
like, oh Lord.
Hey everybody, this is Sean at White Lightning Harley Davidson. I want to thank you for listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You can reach the podcast on Facebook or Instagram at The Daily Biker, or you can email the podcast at thedailybiker@gmail.com. Be sure to keep an eye on White Lightning Harley Davidson social media pages for the most up-to-date information on all our events and where you can find the boys.